but they're right there. They're looking at you. They're needing something. They want you to play Barbies.
Okay, I want to talk about something else.
Go ahead.
We were talking about downstairs.
Yeah,
Jim never worked the Comedy Cellar.
No,
Jim
I mean, I
Gaffigan.
did.
No, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying from my point of view.
Yeah.
Like I remember Manny, God rest. You know, he owned the place before whatever, but he was the founder. He still owned whatever. He bought the building or whatever. He asked me one time. He goes, is Jim Gaffigan? Jim Gaffigan's good. I go, yeah, he's pretty good because I think he just sold out Madison Square Garden. So I think he's doing okay. So the timeline is not exactly right.
Yeah.
But he asked me like way past the point you needed to work here. So my point is all the people listen to the show, the comics out there like, I got to do this. You don't have to do anything. We were talking about this with you, me and Jimmy. I said, you don't have to wait around for like permission for whatever. You know what I mean? Like he said, Gaffigan just said like, okay, well, I'm not going to work there. They're not using me. So he just got funny, I guess. And then let the chips fall. That's really what you have to do because you can't wait for like we used to wait for Letterman, which is understandable because everyone wanted to do Letterman. If you didn't do Letterman, you didn't really.
That was where you were a real comedian.
Yeah, that was a big deal. But there's no Letterman anymore. There's not a fucking people want I'm gonna do the Colbert Show. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck if you have a 5-minute. Like I was watching I'm getting a new website, so I was watching Nick Griffin's Griffin's website.
Oh, he's so funny.
And he has all these TV appearances, but nobody gives a fuck about Nick Griffin, and he does great. He does great on TV.
He's great.
He does
He's
great
one of the funniest guys.
No, and he does better on TV than he does in the club. Not to slam him, but he looks better when he's made up because he looks like shit in person. So when you
he's very handsome on TV.
No, he looks like fuck. He was talking about Brad Pitt.
He looks like a movie star.
No, he looks like Brad Pitt. Like not really, but on TV with makeup and wearing a suit, he looks really handsome.
Yeah, he is.
And then he plays this loser guy, and so you kind of you buy the character, but then it's like nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck if you do any show. You know what I mean?
Why do you think? Well, you opened for the Pope. That's like the biggest deal. Like, who's bigger than opening for the Pope? Did you see him open for the Pope? Did you see it?
No, because I couldn't get a ticket.
No, it was on some parkway on a road.
Oh yeah, no, that was
opening
insane.
for the goddamn Pope.
Well,
that was in Philly too. I was a little resentful because I'm from Philly. I put in avails, but they never. I think they thought I was.
The Pope actually was never past at the cellar either.
Did you
the
touch
Pope
the
never
Pope?
worked the
Like when
cellar.
you meet the Pope, do you
the
touch
Pope,
him?
yeah.
Do you take his hand or no?
Well, yeah, no.
Do they teach you how to address him?
No, you just
They
shake
didn't?
his hand.
Don't they say like meeting the Queen? You shake with this hand and you don't
you
do the
shake
inside
with the right hand,
pinky?
supposedly. But I mean, but no,
You give me your left hand I keep the right hand for super people.
The Pope thing, that's a whole separate thing because that was. First of all, I didn't open.
I didn't bring it up. Patty brought it up.
No, I'm sorry.
But I can talk about that.
I
or
am
I can talk about
fascinated that you wouldn't say no. This seems like a bad idea. Like if somebody
it
said,
was a bad idea.
You're gonna open for the Pope. I would go fuck no. Well, no one would ask me to open for the Pope.
But it's so like.
But you did great. You did great with those.
I mean, I did.
How long did you do?
I don't know if I did great.
How long did you do?
I think I did 15 minutes.
They showed them the people were laughing.
You do any crowd work?
No. Here's the thing. Let me set this up because I didn't technically open for the Pope. I opened for the Pope Mobile.
Right, he drove by. He drove by when you were done.
And that's not even the first time I've opened for an automobile. I did a show at the Iowa State Fair where I opened for Kyle Busch's car. It wasn't Kyle Busch.
Yeah.
I don't know
Kyle
anything.
Busch?
He's a NASCAR driver.
Oh shit.
I did 15 minutes, and then they pushed out his car on this stage, and people looked at the car and they walked by and they got pictures. I'm not making that up.
I believe it, but the money was probably great, right? Open for Kyle Busch.
Open for his car.
Yeah, what paid more? Opening for the Pope?
There was no money. The Pope was no money.
Stop it! You did that for no money.
I did it, but I knew
they didn't even pass the hand like a communion thing.
I knew I wasn't going to get paid. I knew it was going to be. I knew it wasn't going to work. Because no one's going to see the Pope going.
Where was
I hope
it?
there's a comedian. It was on the Ben Franklin Parkway.
Oh man!
Wait a minute.
Wait, there. They go to see the Pope. They go. He could have used an opening act. Like, where was the opening act? I saw Rickles in Atlantic City had a nice opening act. The Pope can't get anybody.
I opened, right? So technically, I opened, and then Sister Sledge came on. It was all about family, right? It was family weekend, so they sang "We Are Family,"
and that's it.
And so by the way, Sister Sledge fired one of their sisters from their group.
Get out of town. That sounds like your
not very
family.
Christian of them.
They sang "We Are Family." The Pope comes in the Pope Mobile, takes a lap around this constructed outdoor venue
Does
on
he
the
have
Ben
a
Franklin
T-shirt
Park.
gun or something? What's happening?
No, and people are going crazy. But like when I was performing, it was similar to a festival. It's one of those, I was like an unimportant act, obviously, compared to the Pope.
His
So
excellence.
no one was there. So I was essentially performing for like an empty,
Stadium.
Like the side
stadium.
stage at
It
Oddball.
was like a big stadium.
It was a
like,
big stadium, and there was like, there was, like news things in the back. So there was kind of like a convention, but it was essentially empty. But there were people all along the Ben Franklin Parkway. Philadelphia, they had put up huge screens so people could watch it. And so people were sitting on the highway in chairs watching me do stand-up to like an empty area.
But when you were doing it, when he was driving by, are you still standing on the stage like waving to him? Or they whisked
Sister
you away?
Sledge was on stage.
Okay.
So,
Oh my God.
Did you see it live, Patty?
Yes, I saw it when it was happening live. Kevin, my fiancé, was like, "You got to come in here. He's opening for the Pope." I'm like, "Oh my God!" I was so nervous for you because
it was terrifying.
But
here's-
you did
here's
really
the
good.
best
But
thing,
I was
and
like,
But again, there was no pressure because there's no audience.
but
no,
they were
there
there,
is.
and they're
But
all like,
it was on
buttoned
CNN.
up. They're
No, but I'm
buttoned up
saying, no, I know
Christians.
that, but there was no like audience there. So
There was no audience there, but there was millions of people on the highway.
Did you
watching.
hear them laughing?
Yes, you could hear it on the
And
thing.
it was Philadelphia,
Yeah,
right?
oh my God.
Yeah, that's
And so it's Philadelphia.
You could hear people heckling from like
Well,
6
here's
blocks
the
away.
thing. Here's the thing.
Actually
Here's the
did.
thing.
They
Here,
did.
let me get to it. So, like, here's the thing. So, like, I'm from the Midwest. I choose to live in the Northeast. I love the Northeast. I love the anger. Like, people are angry, like you, Kevin.
Yeah.
Like you, Patty, for no real reason at all.
Right. No, I have reasons.
I have
have
reason, so you should.
Yeah.
be-
She married a gay man. She's
All right,
got
so
reason.
anyway, so here I am in Philadelphia, which is part of like the whole north, that Acela line, right? Boston to Philly, people are angry
Right.
for no, like they're just angry.
Right.
Jersey, all of Jersey
Is angry.
furious.
Yeah, why not?
Long Island furious.
Everybody
are.
in New Jersey is mad.
You know.
Everybody knew every diner they're mad. Every
Right.
waitress is mad
Everyone's
at a
just pissed,
Jersey diner.
Right.
Anyway, so I go up there, and so I'm opening for the Pope, and I say, and I'm like, the church didn't tell me, don't do this joke, do
Really?
this
They
joke.
didn't say
No
anything?
guidelines. They're like, just go
Wow.
ahead. Like the Bishop of Philadelphia, who I don't know, had said, yeah, let's throw Gaffigan out there. And I'm like, all right, like if I took a quiz on Catholicism, I would fail. Like, I don't know.
Are you not even Catholic?
He's
I am
Christian.
Catholic.
Okay,
I am
alright.
Catholic.
Yeah,
So they
And
sent. Did they see a tape of you, or he just knew you from things?
I think he knew me from things. And, like I had that book where I talked about having 5 kids. I am
well, they
Catholic.
assume you're a
And he's
good
Catholic.
Catholic. No, you're a
I
good
am
Catholic. If
Catholic.
you have 5 kids, you're a good Catholic.
Well,
and you know nothing about Catholicism, so that's every Catholic.
Yes,
basically.
right. And so there I am, Philadelphia, and so I'm sitting there going, all right, and for like months leading up to it, people were like, what are you gonna do when you open for the Pope? And I'm like, I don't know, I'm gonna figure it out. I never prepared at all. And so then, and we've all had those gigs where you're like, you know what, it's a bunch of pipe fitters. I should probably come up with some pipe fitter jokes. You never do.
Yeah.
And so I got up there and
You did a Pope
to
joke though.
Philly.
That was
Yeah,
a really funny joke.
No, I did a couple jokes. So I'm in Philly and I'm like, all right, I got to do some Philly jokes. So like one of the jokes is like, I was like, look, I'm, I said, I'm going to be up here for like 10, 15 minutes. After I'm done, you might want to leave, but please stick around. There's this guy from Argentina. Like, I thought it was funny. So they're like, the audience is like, yeah, and again, people are going there to see the Pope. They're not going to see like a lazy, pasty, fat guy. You know what I mean?
And Sister Sledge.
And so then I said, one of my other Philly jokes was, I go, Philadelphia loves the Pope. And by the way, after this, I want to talk about Mark Wahlberg because he went on after and he killed and he did
Mark
what
Wahlberg?
he did what I should have done. And so
Worked out
anyways,
for 30 years.
and so then
Beat up
so then I
Vietnamese
did
guy.
my other Philly joke where I was like, Philly loves the Pope, and the crowd goes crazy. They love the Pope. Not that I was worried. I mean, you guys weren't that nice to Santa, but like funny, right?
Yes.
Now, if people are listening and they don't understand the context of that, in 1968, I believe, there was an Eagles game where there was a snowstorm and they didn't clear the seats. So people had to essentially sit on snow. And the Eagles were horrible that year, and people were really angry. They were in a bad mood. The guy who was supposed to be Santa, it was like a December 24th game, didn't show up, so they threw this other guy into this Santa costume. The Eagles were having a rough year. They brought him out, and people started throwing snowballs at Santa.
But also because he was a fill-in Santa, he was drunk. And he was like egging the crowd on. I think it was like
it was more complex than that.
Yeah, no, because I saw behind the music on this.
No, yeah.
I didn't know that.
And so it was probably the same ESPN 30 for 30 thing.
Yeah.
And so like the whole point of it is that it happened at one game, and it's funny. It's a little embarrassing, but it's.
And they've done much worse things since 1968.
And it's like it doesn't matter. So anyway, it's just this joke. It's a specific local joke. So there's some people that boo. So there, and I just started laughing. I'm like, and I was like, you're booing a comedian before you see your religious leader. But that's what I love about the Northeast is that people were like, no, I don't like it. I don't like it. They're like, you know what? And like, I'm sure
I was in a good mood until that guy said that.
You
know,
he
reminded us about an unfortunate thing.
I'm here to hear this guy talk about mercy, because that's what Pope Francis is all about, is mercy. But Philly, but that's what I love about the Northeast.
They booed that you said that they like the Pope?
No, they
Santa
booed
Claus.
the Santa Claus
story.
joke.
Okay.
And I think there was another joke. Look,
but
by the way,
that didn't even throw you. You know what I love about it? Why didn't that throw you? That doesn't even.
It did
It
internally.
did throw you?
But I had to laugh about it.
It was right in the beginning. Like,
but it was
one
also
thing to get a boo, but it wasn't like everyone was booing. It was one little.
Yeah, it was like a group, because it was on behind. Like people. There's people booing behind me.
It was Jim's family booing. It was like the first time my parents went to see me. They snuck into this comedy club because I started in Chicago. I told them I passed at this club. Yeah. And one of my brothers like, you're not even the funniest one in the family. I don't know why you're doing it.
Yeah, the same with me.
So then I just told him I passed. I didn't tell him to go to the show. So my mom and dad and my brother come to the show.